friends. Welcome back to the Plus One Theory podcast. You're listening to the special Delay the Binge series, where we talk honestly about what it takes to break the cycles that keep us stuck. Today, I want to talk about rock bottom, not just with work or relationships, but the rock bottom that comes when you keep repeating the same habits that are stealing your peace, your joy, and your health. It's painful. It feels hopeless. And sometimes you don't even want to get back up because you're thinking, why do I keep doing this? Why can't I stop? But here's the surprising thing about rock bottom. When you finally stop, look up. The view is different. You can't see the path you were supposed to take all along. Why do we fight so long to stay on that path that's clearly not working? Because other people told us it's the right path for us. And also fear, it whispers it's the only path. Or because we just confuse quitting with failure, when really it's just redirection. And when it comes to our habits, food, overdrinking, overworking, pleasing everyone but ourselves, it's not just about discipline. It's about mindset. You can have all the tools, all the education, and all the resources in the world. But if your mind is still fighting you, you'll keep sliding back down that mountain. Let me tell you something that just happened in my life. A very fresh rock bottom moment. I've been pouring all of my energy into building the Plus One Theory and Delay the Binge. And I let something else slide. My company, TPKK Concepts. That's the business where I consult and plan events for other businesses. I love it so much, but it took a back seat. And when you stop tending to something, it doesn't grow. Slowly, I dwindled down to just 3 clients, all owned by the same person, by the way. Well, yesterday I got the call. They were terminating. Just like that, I had no clients left. Nothing to literally feed me or my family. Now, I still believe in my brand, and I believe it will bear fruit eventually, but it takes time. And time isn't on my side. So I thought, I need a job fast. And let me be real, my first thought was, who on earth is going to hire a 59-year-old in marketing? And worse, how would I fund all the moving parts that I've already have in motion for the coming months? So I did what you do when you're desperate. I started looking up holiday jobs, wrapping gifts, bagging groceries, anything. And it was defeating because I also realized that if I went that route, I would have to change or cancel the events that I've committed to for my new brand. That's not what I've worked so hard for. The fall happened. I hit rock bottom, but then I looked up. And when I did, the view was different. I realized I had lost sight of my why. Because isn't that what I tell my clients all the time? That success isn't just about building something for the sake of it. It's about connecting to your purpose. I needed to practice what I preach. So what did I do? I pivoted. I reached out. I put myself back into consulting. And you know what? I signed a new client. Maybe another one's on the way. Fingers crossed. That will more than cover the bills. And best of all, I'll still have the flexibility to grow the calling deep in my soul. That's the lesson. Rock bottom isn't the end. It's the place where you finally see clearly. Now, speaking of climbing mountains, let me tell you about the one I'm climbing this weekend. I'll be at the Waco Home for the Holidays Christmas Market, selling from the piney woods. And let me just say, Prepping for this has been like a full-on Olympic sport. I've been dragging dusty Christmas boxes out of the attic, in September, mind you, fighting with tangled lights, trying to figure out if half-lit counts as festive. I swear, if tinsel was a weapon, I'd be a goner. And let's just say I've inhaled enough fake snow to keep me coughing carols until January. But underneath the chaos, there's stress. I've invested so much time and money preparing, and honestly, I don't know if I'll even break even. Now, here's where the old me and the new me split. The old Pam, stressed about the market, worried about the money, I would probably order a giant pizza, and on my way to pick it up, I would stop by the H-E-B grocery store for a pint of chocolate chip Haagen-Dazs. And then I would eat it all. And then I would curl up on the couch and binge sad Netflix movies that make me cry. And then I would go to bed. That's my binge cycle. It's not about the food or the movies. It's about escaping the stress. It's about numbing that stress instead of facing it. Now, the new Pam that's using Delay the Binge, I'm stressed out about the market, worried about the money. So I grab a notebook. I dump every single thought that's racing through my head, there's a lot, onto paper. Every single one. And then I circle just one to focus on. The others can wait. I pause. That's what I call a brain dump. It's simple. It's powerful. And it works, y'all. It does. Try it. You'll be shocked at the relief it brings. And then instead of pizza, I head to the kitchen and cook a healthy meal. While it's baking, I take a walk. Or I sit in the infrared sauna that my sweet son gave me for Christmas. And then I shower, feeling refreshed, and I eat, and maybe even write a short story about how I'm feeling. I mean, y'all, I write. That's why I write. It is therapy for me. It is so satisfying to write something and share my story so that someone, maybe just one person, might heal too by listening and thinking of my story and finding something similar to it in their lives. Do those things erase the stress? No, but they give me space. They delay the binge long enough to deal with what's really going on. And here's the key. You won't master this in one try. None of us do. It takes practice over and over. And it takes support. That's why the Delay the Binge Collective exists, because someone else's story might be the one that helps you find your own pause. So if you're listening today and you feel like you're at the bottom, whether it's with your habits, your work, or your relationships, I want you to hear this. You are not broken. You're just being given a chance to look up, see differently, and choose a new path. Rock bottom is not the end. It's the place where the view changes. And if you want support for those habits that feel unbreakable, join me for the Delay the Binge Collective free launch event on October 2nd, 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. And even if you can't make it live, sign up anyway, and I'll send you the replay. This is for everyone struggling with unhealthy patterns, not just food, overworking, overpleasing, overdrinking, anything you run to when life feels too heavy. The support we can offer one another is priceless. So please go to delaythebinge.com and sign up today. Why not? Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Plus One Theory podcast and our very first Delay the Binge series episode. Remember, you don't have to fix everything in one giant leap. You just have to take one small step. your +1? Keep climbing, keep pausing, keep choosing, and always remember there's room for a little more. Thanks for listening.